Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Dre in the Kitchen. Today we're going to do something that's super simple and fun and actually very versatile. You can make this in a variety of different ways. So I'm going to do a buffalo style chicken. I'm going to use chicken thighs instead of chicken breasts. I personally like the flavor, but instead of, I've got two different cauliflowers here. I've got purple, I've got the traditional white. Let me show you how I put this all together in a super simple way. Join me in the kitchen. So let me show you this buffalo sauce. So many times there are some store-bought options. I decided I wanted to do it myself because I like to mellow it out. I don't like the super strong cayenne flavor. We're gonna start, the base of this is with Frank's Red Hot Original. So let's get started. Heating up my trusty little saucepan here. We're gonna put in, we'll start out with 2 tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee. You can make your own or you can buy it pre-done for you, whatever's easier. Let that melt in the pan, and then what I did is I took 2 medium shallots and I just minced them up. They don't have to be perfect, but they're gonna add gorgeous flavor. I have 2 cloves of garlic that we're gonna shave in, a little white wine vinegar to balance it out, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna thicken it with 1/8 teaspoon of xanthum gum. My secret weapon is I add in a little bit of homemade chicken stock to this. If you want to keep it vegetarian, go ahead and use vegetable stock. If you don't want to use stock of any kind, you can go ahead and use water. So now that the clarified butter is melted, let's put in our shallots. And the beautiful thing about this is I'm going to use my little whisk. So we're going to let that mix in all together. We're going to sweat it out, so probably about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And you'll get this gorgeous, gorgeous aroma. There's nothing like, well, onions and butter. So you get the best of both worlds. I'm gonna go ahead and use my zester, and I'm gonna grate in the 2 garlic cloves. Let me lower this a little bit because this will burn very quickly. Grate it in. Be careful not to get your fingers in there. Years of experience, I've always gotten a finger or 2 in there. So we get that in there. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, it's a little hot. There we are. Oh, I'll fish that one out in a little bit. Let's get that large. There we are. Told ya, at least I didn't get the finger in there, so that's the good part. Mix that all together. Smells absolutely amazing. I'm not adding any salt, I'm not adding anything yet. So I have a measuring cup here. I'm gonna put in 1/3 of a cup of the Frank's Red Hot. So there's 1/3 of a cup. And then we're gonna put 2/3 of a cup of my chicken stock. This is how we're gonna mellow it and balance it out. Give that a quick little mix in the cup. And in it goes. Now, this recipe will make enough buffalo sauce to last you quite a while. So I'm gonna let that come to a boil. And to this, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of white. If you have apple cider vinegar, I would use apple cider vinegar. You can do 2 tablespoons to start. There we go. Let that all come together. I wish y'all could smell this. It is divine. So let that come to a quick little bubble. If you want to add additional spice, if spice is your thing, you can add additional cayenne pepper. You can, instead of 1/3 of a cup, you can do 1/2 a cup of the Frank's Red Hot. If you want to do straight Frank's Red Hot because you love that buffalo flavor, by all means, use this recipe as a guide so you can adjust the seasoning to your liking. So this has been bubbling away for about 2 to 3 minutes. It's starting to reduce. The flavor smells amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and get my xanthum gum ready. If you have arrowroot powder, you could use arrowroot powder if you prefer. I personally like the xanthum gum because it thickens it up and you can adjust the consistency that you want. within here. So I'm gonna add the xanthum gum in. This is a quarter of a teaspoon. I add a little more. With the whisk, mix it all together. And then as this continues to heat up, the viscosity is gonna change. It'll get nice and thick. And once it has reached the consistency that you like, I'll show you the final trick. All right, we've reached the consistency that I'm looking for, which is almost the consistency of what it would be if you bought this pre-made from a jar in your local supermarket. So there we go. Let me show you a little bit. Taking a fork, it's nice and thick. It is luxurious and gorgeous. Now let me show you my little trick. It's probably from my restaurant days. I have a little bit of cold butter here, cubed. I'm gonna start to add a few pieces in. Actually, I'll just put it all in. It's about 3 tablespoons of unsalted, cold butter with the whisk. Mix it all in. This should look exactly the way traditional buffalo sauce looks like, except you made it at home. Remove this from the heat. Let it cool. It can save in a jarred container in your refrigerator for quite a while. I don't know how long, because it never really lasts that long in my house. I put this on everything. And there you go. Buffalo sauce. Now let's get on to the chicken portion. This is the best. As you can see, I used chicken thighs. I prefer the flavor. They're a little more forgiving. They don't dry out. They stay nice and juicy. So to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of my homemade adobo. I'll put the link to this so you can make this at home. This is my low sodium homemade adobo. If you prefer to just use salt, you can use your salt. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. This is heating up, or at least it is now. And to this, there we go. We're gonna season the other side once it's in the pan. I'm gonna use clarified butter. You can use a neutral oil at this point, or what I love to do is use avocado oil. But there's something about clarified butter that just, it's delicious. It's absolutely delish. I think that's enough. Oh, what the heck, there's only a little left. Let that melt and get together, and then we're gonna place this in. And I have a little trick, and I'll show you what I do so that your chicken comes out moist in a quick and short period of time. All right, our clarified butter is now fully melted. Oh, it smells so good. With your trusty tongs, go ahead and place it seasoned side down. And I am, again, using my nonstick skillet. I have made this in a stainless steel. You just do not move the chicken until it is ready to be turned. So now we're gonna go ahead and season the other side. Because I don't know about you, but I like my chicken seasoned on both sides. So what's in this adobo? Adobo has garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, salt, my peppercorn mixture, and just a dash of turmeric for color. Add a little more pepper. I like my chicken it's peppery. This is my personal preference. You can adjust the seasoning to your liking. I've also had some folks make this with a little curry powder. Again, you can do this to your liking. There we go. So, do not touch this for a couple of minutes. What we want to do is create a crust on the bottom. When that's done, I will flip it, and then with my trusty lid, I will cover the entire thing and let it cook for about a good 15 minutes. If it is dry or becomes a little drier, my secret weapon is adding a little chicken stock to your pan and then covering it because it creates this steam effect. So stay tuned and I'll show you how that looks. Works every time. I'm going to reduce the heat and let this cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can check your internal temperature, that it's at 165 if you like, but trust, after about 20 minutes in here, this is gonna be juicy and delicious. About 18 minutes have passed. Let me show you how beautiful this looks. So I'm gonna flip and you can see it's now starting to brown. The meat is thoroughly cooked, but I wanna brown both sides. It smells heavenly in this kitchen. I'm gonna leave this covered for another about 4 minutes. I'm gonna remove it from the heat, and then I'll show you how we're gonna put everything together. Now let me show you my favorite way of making cauliflower. So I love, because it's the traditional white cauliflower. Remember, I found the purple, sometimes it comes in orange. You can use as much or as little as you want. So I have my air fryer preheating to 375 degrees. Yes, we're gonna air fry these. They come out so delicious. And you can make as much or as little. It's great in leftovers. It's great to put in a frittata the following day. Just a fancier word for a delicious Italian omelet. There's so many different things that you can do. So what do I do with this? Super easy. I use extra virgin olive oil. So you want to coat this liberally. You want enough so that it actually just covers the entire thing. Season with kosher salt. So I'm not measuring here, but this is about 1.5 teaspoons. You don't want to overdo it. Of course, you know I love my pepper, so we're going to add pepper here. And what I love is that after it roasts and it comes out beautiful and brown, we have that delicious buffalo sauce, and you can use that as well. So if you can choose to add garlic powder, you can add onion powder, you can customize this to your flavor profiles that you like. I'm gonna add just a little more extra virgin olive oil so that they're all nicely coated. I'm very simple. I like salt and pepper and olive oil. That's it. On your trusty tray. There you go. This is gonna go in my air fryer for 25 minutes. It could be a little less depending on your air fryer, so start checking it at the 20-minute mark. They should be nice and golden and crisp and still have a little bit of a crunch. That's how I personally like them. So I'm gonna put these in, and I'll see you as soon as they're done when we plate everything together. I'm so excited. It smells so good in this house. So let me take you on my little journey. Now, of course, I'm gonna angle it. I actually put the buffalo sauce in a little trivet here, and I have my chicken, I have my cauliflower. So let me show you what I do in storage. So these little plastic containers, I buy them on Amazon. Your buffalo sauce can stay in here, covered in the refrigerator, probably I'd say for several weeks, because there's nothing in here that's gonna go bad. This is great. You can save this. Not only is it for this dish, if you want to make your wings, you have your own buffalo sauce. And you can customize it to the heat and intensity that you want. I know some folks who like to add some Thai chilies in there as well, because you can adjust the heat to your comfort and your level. So now, can we actually taste this? So the chicken, like I showed you, because I cover it, and it is chicken thighs, they're absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna dip it in my buffalo sauce here. It's tender, it's gorgeous, it's just beautiful. I wasn't a fan of buffalo sauce until I made my own. Because when you make your own, I'm actually gonna dip the cauliflower into the buffalo sauce as well. I think that would be even amazing as well. But because it's got a little more sweetness to it. There's no sugar added. There wasn't anything like that. But because I added the chicken stock, a little bit of that vinegar, and the butter at the end, I think the butter is what mellows it out. Hang on a sec, I need this bite. Amazing. Full recipe will be at drainthekitchen.com. And of course, make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we're growing. Share this out to, share this out to some folks who are looking for the keto low carb way. I'm trying to show that there are affordable meal options out there. You can pre-plan your meals by figuring out what to do. So stay tuned. We have a lot more recipes coming. And if you don't have an air fryer, I'll drop the link to my personal favorite. It's not sponsored, but it's the Emerald multi-purpose. But the air fryer, I do my wings in there, I do the green beans in there, I do the cauliflower in there. Promise you, you will love it. So I'll see you next time.